Alright, so this is a quick intro to absolute value because I'm going to be teaching this, well, hopefully tomorrow. Well, that's not true. Wednesday anyway. Anyway, absolute value looks like this. And this means the absolute value of A. And you might be saying, well, what does that mean? It means this. Basically, you have a number line. Oh, goodness me. I'm going to try to make a straight number line here. I'm going to see what I can do. See if I can make this look halfway decent. And that looks actually worse than before. Alright, oh, look at that. Anyway, so we have a number line, and we have a 0, we have a -1, a -2, -3, -4. We also have a +1, +2, and a +3, and a +4. And being that these are all evenly spaced, and this is our integer number line, I'm going to say, well, which is further away from 0, -2 or +2? And the answer is they're both equidistant from 0. So we're going to say the absolute value of A is the positive distance away from 0. And so, goodness me, from 0. And so what this means is the absolute value of -2 equals 2 because -2 is really 1, 2 units away from 0. And the absolute value of +2 is 1, 2 units away from 0. And so, with that said, that means that the absolute value of -2 is equal to the absolute value of +2, which equals 2. There is also another way of looking at this. You could say the absolute value of A is equal to A if A is greater than 0, and the absolute value of A is equal to -A if A is less than 0. And so here, if A is 2, then the absolute value of 2 is 2 because 2 is greater than 0. And if A is -2, then it equals negative that 2, which is a +2 because A is -2 is less than 0. There is one last thing I want to point out, and this is actually a pretty important concept. You can never say equals a -1 or any number that's negative, because this is always a positive distance. So the absolute value of A equals -1 does not exist. You could have something like this, though, the absolute value of A plus, -2 equals a -1, because you'll add 2 to both sides, and then you'll get the absolute value of A equals a +1. Well, in this case, there's one last thing I want you to notice. If I have the absolute value of A equals a +1, that means A can equal 1, or A can equal a -1, because take a look. The absolute value of 1 is 1, -2 equals -1. The absolute value of -1 is 1, -2 equals -1. So the last thing I want you to notice is that one very, 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 very important concept. If you have the absolute value of A equal to some positive number, x, such that x is greater than 0, I'll say greater than or equal to 0, then A equals x, or A equals -x. But x has to be greater than or equal to 0. That's it. Hope this was helpful. I'll do one quick example. The absolute value of A equals 3, A can equal 3, or A can equal -3, because both 3 and -3 are 3 units away from 0. That's it. Wow, that was long-winded. Sorry.